In this video, we're going to talk about the top trade targets of 3 teams: the Red Sox, the Cardinals, and the New York Mets. And this video starts right now. Here we go. Let's start with the New York Mets. As a Met fan, which I have like the main channel, the Baseball Hut. This was a rumor I found. New York Mets should trade for Zach Jackson or Matt Duffy. Early trade rumors. And this is from Fanside. The New York Mets are 6 games out of the net. And this is from a week ago, just so you know. Are 6 games out of the NL East race, and if they can turn things around, which they've done, but the trade deadline, they've had a good week. There are plenty of worthwhile additions they can make without breaking the bank. One of those could be Zach Jackson of the Oakland A's. Jackson's one of the better relief pitchers in the American League, and he's still in his pre-arbitration years, which makes him inexpensive for Steve Cohen. Jackson could cost a significant amount in prospect capital. He has several years left on his contract, and the A's need to sell. As you know, the A's are going to Las Vegas. They want someone to market. Jackson won't be it. If the Mets feel confident enough in their bullpen as is, without Edwin Diaz, then perhaps Matt Duffy makes sense. Duffy can play second, third, or the outfield. As the poor man's Jeff McNeil, he has played 21 games and hit rather well. The Mets lack depth, and that's exactly what a player like Duffy can bring them at a rather cheap rate. Here's the thing about Matt Duffy. The Mets actually have a lot of depth. This is a bit of a weird take on it. The Mets have, as you know, their infield right now is Alonso, Jeff McNeil, he plays a little of the outfield, Francisco Lindor, and of course Brett Baty, the young third baseman. They have Eduardo Escobar. They have Luis Guillorme, who they sent down to the minor leagues last week. They also have Danny Mendick, a utility guy that they have. So that part is a little bit off. I don't think the Mets really have an issue there. And of course, Ronnie Mauricio is down the pipeline. And all of us Met fans are extremely excited to see him play. He's not quite ready yet, but the Mets do have some depth. They would probably be looking more for minor league depth that they can, call on somebody to call up, but they don't really need anybody. That's a little bit weird. But they could always use pitching. Keep an eye on the Mets when it comes to starting pitching. So, Red Sox trade target Lucas Giolito. Boston Red Sox like pitching, even with the recent resurgence of Chris Sale. Assuming Boston can maintain its relatively surprise status in the American League wildcard race, Lucas Giolito is a popular trade target for a team that needs high-end pitching. And here's from Fansite's Cody Williams. Laid out the argument. In 8 starts, he already has 5 quality starts to his credit, while posting a 3.59 ERA. If the Red Sox can offer some high-end prospects for Giolito, he would be a phenomenal fit in the rotation. Now, here's the thing. He's 28 years old, so he's going to cost a lot. He's a free agent. He's going to cost a lot. A lot more, say, than a guy like Lance Lynn. Any trade for Giolito would include some near MLB-ready prospects. And mock trade packages earlier this week from Fansided, the Braves trade young shortstop Vaughn Grissom as an example. Robert Murray of Fansided considers Giolito as likely to be dealt earlier this week. Not this week, but saying that he's going to be traded before the trade deadline. Given the White Sox current struggles, he's on an expiring deal also. Interesting. And in the blue corner, or in the red corner, the St. Louis Cardinals. And we have that they would target Dylan Cease of the White Sox. Now, there's been talk that they'd be interested in Eduardo Rodriguez. It seems like the Cardinals got off to a terrible start. They've picked it up. They've actually been hitting pretty good. But they would need to do a lot more to pick up in the race because they're dead last. Chicago White Sox are expected to at least take calls on ace Dylan Cease, though it seems unlikely that they'll find fair value. They're going to be able to get fair value for him. Fanside MLB insider Robert Murray discussed the possibility of a Cease trade earlier this week. With Cease under contract for 2 more arbitration seasons, any potential acquiring team would have him under contract for at least 3 postseason runs. As one of the best young pitchers in baseball, would take a substantial haul to pry him out of Chicago. End quote. The substantial haul would start with some of the Cardinals' top prospects, such as Jordan Walker and Tank Hence. St. Louis has a strong enough system to land Cease for those 3 playoff runs, and the Cardinals are lacking a true ace. However, Cease has struggled so far this year, which is worth watching. Just to see they have to finish second in the AL Cy Young voting, Cease has a 4.86 ERA and 9 starts. His numbers have looked a little bit better of late, perhaps suggesting a turnaround. The better the Cease pitches, the greater his trade value will be. It's unclear if the Cardinals are willing to meet the asking price. Well, we'll see. I don't believe he'll be going. You let me know what you think about that. But there's going to be a fire sale with the White Sox. I don't think there's any doubt. There's a lot of talk that they want to rebuild. The big name that could get moved, but he has 1 year left on his contract, is the shortstop, Tim Anderson. I don't believe he will be moved, considering he has, he's done a lot of good stuff there in Chicago. He's won a batting title. He's been a pretty good player for them. So I don't see him getting moved. But certain Giolito is going to get moved. Lance Lynn is going to get moved. And quite a few other players are going to get moved, and some kind of rebuild there and on the south side. They're not a good team. And they have a young manager. Doesn't seem he knows how to handle sort of the losing that they've been doing. Obviously, well, you can make up your mind on what's going on in Chicago. I don't know all the ins and outs, but you let me know what you think about this video. What do you think about the Mets, this proposed Mets thing, the Red Sox, the Cardinals, in the comment section. And thank you for watching the Baseball Hut too. Thank you.